Okay, now we get to the good part. Phonics and decoding. Not to be mistaken with phonological awareness. This is phonics. This is where we start linking sounds to actual letters. Woohoo! Okay? It is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-step process. Okay? That builds upon 3 different areas. It's a 5-step process that builds upon an early phonics, a late phonics, and an advanced phonics stage. Okay? So just to list the areas of phonics, they are 1. Letter sound correspondence. 2. Onset rhyme. 3. Phonics generalizations or rules. 4. Polysyllabic word decoding. And 5. High frequency words. Cycles. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right? And within those 5 stages fall within the early phonics instruction, late phonics instruction, and advanced phonics instruction areas. Okay? So in the early phonics instruction, we will focus on how the child associates sounds to letters. They combine letters into common 1-syllable words that are usually decoded. For instance, once a child has a few sounds, letter associations under their belt, then we can add some onsets as terminology. Onset is the first letter that you hear. For instance, in the word cat is the onset, and at is what they call the rhyme. So once they know a few letters, let's just say cat, mat, sat, rat, once they know the C, the M, the S, and the R, then you can just kind of start adding other endings to the end to show them that the words are changing. Okay? Simple letter patterns are what you should be adding. Okay? Like A-T-A-N. They're also referred to as CVC words, consonant, vowel, consonant words. To assess early phonics, letter sound assessment should be done. For example, the teacher should say, tell me the sound that you hear at the start of this word and the first letter. At which point the student would say, and then the student would name it C. Okay? That's what you could do for assessing early phonics. Okay? Excuse me. Later phonics instruction. At this point, they're getting into more complex letter sound associations. For example, the TH, the IGH, the OUGH, BL, the TH, the ACK. Those are more complex associations. But they're using it, they will also be using consonant blend and digraph combinations. Okay, this is really important. Okay, they'll learn about blends. A blend is when you hear both sounds. For instance, the word blend, blend, BL, blend, you hear the B and the L. Whereas a digraph, like in phonics, the PH is actually pronounced like F. That's when 2 letters come together and make a new sound. Okay? So when letters come together and make a new sound, they are a digraph. I'm going to think of it as the letters that they were die and a new sound is brought about. Okay? Again, make sure you teach these things in isolation, not in text. Use onset rhyme activities, then present them in the text. So once you've prepared and selected a book, and then you start teaching in these letter phonics instruction, then you'll be able to go to that book when you're done, so that the child can actually have experience using the words that they are receiving instruction on. Okay? So for advanced phonics instruction, this is going to focus on generalizations, or rules as they are, right? Advanced phonics instruction focuses on vowel patterns. For example, cat has a short vowel sound. The A has a short vowel sound. Whereas cape has the long vowel sound. There's a reason why cap, a CVC, meaning consonant vowel, consonant short vowel pattern, has that sound, and cape, which is an extension of cap, the A makes a long vowel sound because we've added the E. So we write those as CVC lowercase e when we're writing those, okay? So that E is silent and it makes the initial vowel be long, okay? There's also something called hard and soft consonants, okay? For instance, the letter G. The letter G makes the G sound and the J sound. The G sound is the hard sound. The J sound, the G sound as in gain, is hard. The J sound as in gem is considered soft. And the rule or generalization is that hard and soft C, when A and O follow C, the C generally will be hard. When I and Y follow a C, the generalization is that the C will be soft. So if the word is cat, then the A following it makes it a hard C. And these are just rules that you teach kids. You know, they just kind of have to memorize them, and they're going to do that by practicing their use. So cat, cotton, coat all have a hard C, whereas city and cyst, which are followed by I or Y, have a soft C. That's the rule. So whatever. Okay? Those are the C rules. When C is followed by A or O, the C will be hard. When C is followed by I or Y, then the C will be soft. Okay? Hard, cat, soft, cyst. All right? Okay. In advanced phonics instruction, we also have complex vowel representations. And this is important for the text. Diphthongs and digraphs is what we're talking about here. Digraphs, long vowels, ray, rain, fame. Each, beat, feet, I, lie, by, thigh. Letters join to make a new sound. Remember we talked about that, a digraph. Digraph, ray, rain, pain. Okay? Then there are diphthongs. Diphthongs are typically words that go O-I, O-U, O-Y, O-W. And they represent two individual and distinguishable sounds between vowels. For instance, as in boil, joy, out, and cow. Okay? Ow. As you're saying the first letter, you still can hear the second letter, cow. Okay? It's two, a diphthong refers to two distinguishable sounds between letters, between vowels, excuse me, between vowels, diphthong, diphthong. It's kind of a fun word to say. Okay? Assessing later and advanced phonics. Students read words aloud. Teacher marks areas of need. Note where they are with their decoding skills. For instance, are they doing fine with onset and rhyme, or are they having problem with specific phonics generalizations? Okay. Instruction for phonics should look like some of this. Remember, the context of the word is not important for phonics instruction. The context. It's not important. But early, late, and advanced phonics instruction must be explicit and direct. Okay? It must be explicit and direct. I thought I had explicit defined somewhere. I always want to make sure. I don't know why that word always throws me, but explicit. Word features are emphasized through color or other means. So, to teach them about diphthongs and things, you might color the part of the words that is the pattern that you want to pay attention to. Okay? Remember, you're looking at words outside of context. You should not be looking at them in the context of a sentence nor a book, of course. All right? So I told you that it needs to be explicit instruction as well as direct instruction, which describes the role of both the teacher and the student during instruction. All right? You have to pre-teach the feature or rule. Okay? Teacher, student practice identifying and applying the feature or rule together. Then the student practices as teacher observes and evaluates progress. Okay? All right? So, direct instruction, explicit instruction, and guided practices. And I'm going to take a break on phonics activities. Okay? So, we have just covered phonics, decoding, and instruction.